Welcome to Big Blend Radio with your hosts, Lisa and Nancy, editors of BigBlendMagazine.com.
Hey, everybody. Welcome to Big Blend Radio's Adventures in Asheville show. This show airs every first Tuesday with our friends Steve and Karen Wilson. We call them Mr. and Mrs. Wild of Asheville. They're either out in the wild boonies of, the Smoky Mountains and Blue Ridge Parkway, or they're out chasing down musicians across the country. Literally, I mean it. But they run the Lion and the Rose Bed and Breakfast in the Montford Historic District of Asheville. This is the first place we went to on our tour in Asheville. And it turns out that they are in the most historic neighborhood of the city of Asheville. And I think it goes back to it even was its own village back in the day, if I'm correct. I don't know. But we have people on the show today. See, I got something. I got a point. We got started. Yay. I got a point. We got people are going to tell us right and wrong here. But I encourage you to go to lion-rose.com and that voice poking up there was, I believe, Mr. Uncle Ted. Is that right, Mr. Uncle Ted? Uncle Ted White?
That's right. And you're right. Montford was a separate municipality from Asheville. They had one mayor the whole time, was James Edwin Rumbaugh. And they politicked Asheville to take them in, and Asheville wanted Montford. Because if Asheville got Montford, Montford didn't have to worry about street maintenance, water lines, or sewer lines. And if Asheville got Montford, all of a sudden they've got the most comprehensive trolley line in America, second only to Richmond, Virginia, and comprehensive being determined by percentage of population served. And so it seems to have worked out well for both entities.
Oh,
Awesome.
I love this. And that connects right back to who Uncle Ted is. Uncle Ted, you can meet him on a Gray Line trolley tour of Asheville. That's where we first met him. We went on the ghost tour, the haunted mystery history tour of Asheville. And it does go through the Montford Historic District. And we also went on the Christmas one, and we got to sing Christmas carols and listen to others try to sing Christmas carols. But I'm just going to put it that way. Fun. Yeah, it was super fun. But go to graylineasheville.com. So welcome back, Uncle Ted. And man, I know you are like the historian of Asheville. Seriously, I love the tours and the time you were on the show before. We always learn something fascinating. And Asheville has some crazy, crazy history. And the Montford Historic District certainly has some whacked out history, especially when we get to the hospital. There's some crazy stuff going on there. But I want to welcome back Steve and Karen, who co-host the show with us every first Tuesday. Steve, how are you doing, Mr. Wild?
I'm doing good.
Yeah,
a bit busy lately, but we've gotten a few chances to get outside and get a little muddy yesterday, actually, too. And but we've been trucking along.
Hey, Nancy's all into your salamander pictures.
I know. I so want to make a video. Yeah, I want to make a video with your salamander pictures because.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, it'd be so cool. Oh, cool. Awesome.
She hasn't shut up all morning about this. She's like, these
salamanders are cool.
Like, no.
They're like little space creatures.
Well, and then you've got the
we
fungus.
found more than 7 yesterday.
See?
Wow.
Yep. So now you have to go back to Chimney Rock.
They're so slippery.
But the Chimney Rock, you have to go find that other elusive green one that they have, right? Isn't it a green salamander or something they said they had?
No, those are lizards.
Oh,
the green salamander,
the green marbled, I think.
Oh.
Yeah, it's a green. It's over there in what's that one? I can't remember what the name of that trail is, but it's over in the town of Girton. That area is where they're found, and we found one once, and we had a picture somewhere. I'll have to get that for you, Nancy.
Oh, cool! Yeah.
I can't wait to hear what music she puts with this.
Oh,
the salamander slide. Salamander slide. I like that. I think we're going to have to come up with that. Uncle Ted could record that for us because Uncle Ted's also a musician. Grammy nominated, right? Grammy award winning?
Well, we've produced 2 Grammy winners. Mark Pruitt was our banjo player when he won the Grammy with Ricky Skaggs for the album Bluegrass Rules. And then Steve Sutton won his Grammy with us for the work he had done with Christy, was it Christy Clark? I'll have to think in a minute, but he won that Grammy right before he passed. And so we produced several. The last year was our 40th year, and we have an album coming out in June to celebrate all that. We're looking forward to getting that out. So you can be in the entertainment business full time in Asheville if you will do more than one thing.
Yeah, that's true. I want to just touch on this. I had someone on a show, Ricky Ruckman. He's coming to Asheville. He was, famous for MTV's Headbangers Ball and also owning the Cat House. I want to say the Cat House Saloon, but it wasn't. It was like the nightclub of crazy. It was very cool. And I said, well, North Carolina produces some fine musicians. And so he challenged me on this, and Nancy and I was like, I know Warren Haynes. He was there. Then I think I said Joan Armour Training, but it's not. And now I'm going to forget it. I wouldn't say Helen Reddy, but I could be right or wrong. In Black Mountain.
Nina Simone.
But then Nina Simone.
Well, Roberta Flack is out of Black Mountain.
It.
Roberta Flack grew
That's
up there.
it. Roberta Flack. And I messed up, and I was like, dang, where's Uncle Ted when I need him? But North Carolina really does produce some amazing musicians. And then I was just reading this morning that Nina Simone hung out at the hospital down the street from Stephen Karen.
She took voice and piano from the good doctor's wife, and that house is still there. The piano is in the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame. But Nina Simone grew up down in Tryon, North Carolina, but came up here and took voice and piano there in that house. And so that was a wonderful, wonderful thing. And really, there wouldn't be any bluegrass music without North Carolina, because Earl Scruggs is from down the road in Shelby, and you can call it anything you want to, but it ain't bluegrass music if the banjo don't roll. And we define that in North Carolina.
Well, and the banjo, by the way, banjo music comes not from Ireland, like everyone thinks. So Irish and Appalachian music has a lot of Celtic roots, and I know Uncle Ted's going to correct me somewhere here, but the banjo music comes from Africa, which is our old stomping grounds, and it's something that I think gets people forget quick or don't know.
They do, and music has always been a crossroads between race, politics, and economic background, because everybody gets the same 12 notes. How do you present them? That's the whole deal.
In UCLA, in their music museum in UCLA, they have the first, they say, that, and I saw it, it's the first original African banjo in UCLA.
That
is true. That is the first preserved edition of the banjo. That's what they've got.
Damn, Nancy, you got a point.
Edition.
Hey, listen, Gene Simmons said that you have we all have the same 12 notes. Nancy was talking about that the other day, that it's like good luck. It's a race for like something original, because we all have the same notes, and there's only so many progressions you can do mathematically.
There's only 26 letters in the alphabet. Same thing. You got a limit.
I make my own language all the time, and that's a good thing. Before we get to our other guests, Karen, I hear that you have a new addition to the inn at the Lion and the Rose that I saw it on Facebook and Instagram, and I remember you saying this was going to happen, and now it's happening. And now Nancy and I are a little jealous that we're not there right now, but we will be soon to try this. Tell everybody about this new package for people that stay longer than a typical weekend.
Yep. So incentive to stay longer, you get your own in-room tap. So we'll brew whatever beer you want. We always have two different beers, but we'll brew whatever they want as long as we get enough notice. And it's enough to produce about 8 pints. So it's perfect for a longer getaway for 2 people. And we're excited about this. We got a nice little buzz going on and people interested. So we're excited.
There's always a buzz going on at the Montford District. Seriously.
Yeah, no words.
No, listen, the Montford Historic District, I think, how many, is it over 600 historic homes or 200? I always get it twirled around here. Uncle Ted, how many historic, because it is partly part of the National Register, right? A historic district.
Well, a lot of the homes are, and of course, Richard Sharp Smith designed a lot of them. but it depends on who you're talking to. Because
that's
some
what it is.
historic homes, I'm going to be blasphemous for saying this, but
Uh-oh.
there's a Richard Sharp Smith home up there that you would be hard pressed to find any of Richard Sharp Smith's original part of that home, because it's been remodeled so many times and it's come back. But it does have the historical plaque on it that says it is a member of the historical register and that it is Richard Sharp Smith home. So I'm not going to argue with that.
Okay.
I'm not going to. He originally designed it. Let's put it that way.
Hey,
But
and he's
depending on who you talk to, there are at least 100 homes on the register.
oh, that's a lot
in
though.
Montford.
That's a lot for a
Well,
neighborhood.
it
You know what I
is.
mean?
It is.
Mhm.
But Montford, keep in mind, is the largest geographically now, the largest historic district in North Carolina.
Oh,
Now, Winston-Salem wants to argue that with Old Salem, but we're saying geographically from where it's defined and marked out all the way through. So we lay claim to that, and they don't come up here to challenge it very much because they don't want to drive up Old Fort
well,
Mountain.
listen, they've got the Salem name in there, and no, they got the Salem name, so they've got a bunch of witches out there. You know, I'm just saying. I'm kidding. You know what? we get stuck in traffic there every time we go there through that area. I don't know what it is, but we always get not pulled over, but we won't talk about that. But
Yeah, we will.
we won't. But I do want to say that we the Riverside Cemetery, I want to get into that, but I want to bring our next guest on the show. We were talking about food. Okay, so you go to the Lion and the Rose bed and breakfast, very historic Victorian bed and breakfast, beautiful. You've got to go there, stay there. Steve whips up an amazing breakfast. Karen knows how to bake like you wouldn't believe. The brownies, oh yeah. You know, I told you it's like a happy little, downtown district there. But you got Ozzy and Oreo, the dogs, little Shih Tzus. I just like to say that, especially to Ozzy every time I see him.
And beer mimosas.
Beer mimosas on Sundays.
Yep.
Steve brews beer. What's on tap right now, Steve?
Let's see, we got wheat beer, and we also have the chocolate stout is still there.
Oh,
and
the
we're gonna be
Dirty
making an IPA.
Godiva.
We're gonna be making an IPA soon.
Oh,
cool.
sweet.
Yep.
So, I mean, it is Beer City, USA, but our next guest is Aaron Thomas. He's from the 9 Mile in Asheville. So go to 9mileasheville.com, 9 Mile spelled out with a 9, number 9. Caribbean style vegetarian restaurant. And according to Uncle Ted here, it is Jamaican jerk food. But welcome, Aaron. How are you?
I'm good. How y'all doing?
Doing good. Okay,
Aaron's
so
good.
describe what's on the menu. Like, what can we order for lunch? Is it lunch, dinner? What can we order today? I'm hungry.
Well, we used to do lunch and dinners. Now we're just doing dinners. But yeah, so basically we started off with, lots of jerk chicken and jerk seafood and lots of curries. We have yellow curries, massaman curries, red curries, green curries.
Wow.
Vegan friendly, vegetarian friendly. We do chicken and lots of seafood.
Ooh, and the curry, a green curry. I would kill for a green curry right now, like a really good green curry. I will do anything for a good curry. I mean, seriously,
We got green curry hummus, which is delicious.
And so you have beer, because if you have curry, you must have beer. That has to happen.
Lots of beer. I think we have 12
curry without
taps.
Ooh.
And we're about to start brewing our own beer here in the next couple months.
Ooh.
Oh,
we'll
so
be
wow, we're gonna
brewing.
have a beer off between you and Steve? Is that what's gonna happen? There's a beer off going on. Uncle Ted must be the deciding person there, because Uncle Ted, but not when he's driving the bus, right? Not the trolley.
No, not when I'm driving the trolley.
Yeah. No. But this is, I mean, a good green curry is cool. So how far are you? Like, Steve, Karen, can we walk over to 9 Mile from you?
Easily.
We might want.
Right across the street,
You can
more or
probably
less.
smell it from their place too.
Oh, yeah, all the time.
I think we did go there the very first
yes.
night, but we drank beer and talked to Karen too long, and you guys were closing down the very first night. It was during the pandemic too. and you guys were closing down, and we were like, dude, no
Yeah.
way, there's
Blah,
curry
blah,
in
blah.
there. That sucks. Yeah, we talked their ears off, like literally, and they're still talking to us for some reason. But but we had a good first meeting with them, and then we're like, well, there's no food now. Oh well, we've got cheese and
Yeah.
crackers. They took good care of us and made us breakfast and sent us out on a morning hike to a cemetery. That's the way you wake up in Montford. You go for a walk in a
Oh, yeah,
cemetery.
that's cool.
And you go over and you see some famous people's graves. Oh Henry, wake up. And he's like, no, leave me a penny. Then, isn't that right, Uncle Ted? People leave him pennies,
Well,
but they
actually,
also,
he wants $1.87 on his
well,
gravestone
why
because
are
that's
people
the money
putting pennies
That's
on
that Stella
Thomas Wolfe's
Hadner
grave?
would.
Why?
Well,
they- They're doing it to
Thomas Wolfe
Thomas
was never
Wolfe,
good
and
with
it's
money.
well, yeah. Well, they keep putting him on Thomas Wolfe's grave and his family's graves, and O. Henry's the one who wants the penny for the candy. No, anyway, sorry,
Well,
Henry
yeah,
part.
that and the $1.87 goes back to the gift of the Magi, because that's how much money Della had in her purse before she cut off her long, beautiful black hair and sold it in the story The Gift of the Magi. So people leave $1.87 many times on his grave. And he is from North Carolina. He's actually from Greensboro, but married a woman from here, and she owned 2 plots out there when he expired, and they put him in one of them.
Oh, wow. We learned about the Gift of the Magi on your Christmas tour. And then,
Oh, yes.
yeah. And we had
Mhm.
actress and author Catherine Lee Scott on our show just after we did the Christmas tour with you. Many of you may remember her from the TV show. It was the very first, The Dark Shadows. If any of you remember The
Yes.
Dark Shadows, she was the very first Gothic soap opera, and then of course I had to watch this. Nancy's rewatch, but this was
Mm,
like, seriously, everybody go
a
rewatch
hoot.
this stuff. It's a trip. But anyway,
It's a trip.
her and her partner redid this, The Gift of the Magi over Christmas. They did a whole video version for everybody. So I thought, wow, this is amazing. We just went
And they did
through.
a great job too. They did a great job on it if you've seen it.
Oh, see, and so The Gift of the Magi. So that is part of Montford's heritage. The Gift of the Magi. Like driving through there, you see, like, wow, this is where it comes from, and it's kind of this cool history. And so that brings me to John, who's our next guest on the show, John Russell, who's the executive director of the Montford Park Players. Go to their website, montfordparkplayers.org. This is North Carolina's longest running Shakespeare festival, but they have an amazing lineup coming up for the season starting early May. And today's May 2nd. Not while we're recording, but it is going to be when you're listening. But anyway, and whenever everybody listens at their own time. But there's an amazing season coming up. So welcome, John. How are you?
Good morning, Lisa. Thank you so much, and thanks to Steve and Karen from Lion and Rose for inviting me here. Montford Park Players is delighted to be a part of the Montford Historic District since our founding in 1973, 50 years ago.
Wow. That's really cool. Well, happy birthday.
Thank
that's
you.
A big birthday. Like, okay, so are you guys going to go to the cemetery? The 50th year over the hill? Just saying.
Well, they're actually our next door neighbor.
Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah.
wow. So you have an actual playhouse, or like what happens? Yeah.
We do, yes. We are part of the Montford Community Center complex, which includes a recreation center, baseball field, children's playground, and us, which was built for us by the city of Asheville in 1983, 10 years into our founding. Our first 10 years were actually spent at Montford Park, right in the middle of the historic district, on a stage constructed from an old defunct children's wading pool. And so we played there for 10 years. And then the director of Parks and Rec said, we like what you're doing. We want to build you an amphitheater, as they were in the process of finishing up the community center complex. So we have a lovely spot. It's almost like a forested, enchanted place, but within maybe a 10-minute walk from downtown Asheville.
Oh my
Mhm.
gosh. So for guests staying at the inn, they can
Oh,
just walk up
yeah.
to you.
absolutely.
Mhm.
Absolutely. So we can seat about 1,000 people, and we run a 6-month season, usually opening in early May, running through the end of October. One of the longest seasons in outdoor theater, as a matter of fact. Let's see, what else can I tell you? We're the fourth oldest outdoor Shakespeare theater in the country, as a matter of fact.
Wow.
Wow. Look at
Cool.
what's going on at
Cool.
Stephen Karen's backyard, man.
Exactly.
Seriously.
Yeah.
Mhm.
And I mean, because it is like a little village. I know there's a Biltmore village, right? But
Mhm.
it is and by the way, it was Frank Olmsted's birthday yesterday. It was so cool. I think he helped
Oh,
with
yeah.
Biltmore, but the North Carolina Arboretum, which is in Asheville, not far
Mhm.
from Stephen Karen's. I don't think anything's far though, but they he inspired that arboretum, and the arboretum
Yep.
is one of my favorites in the
Mm.
country because you
It's
have
a
trails
lovely
and they
place.
have salamander areas and they have azaleas. They have the National Depository.
Mhm.
Oh, I better say that properly. But anyway, they have the national collection of azaleas. Let me put it that way. From each state, the native azalea that grows in the state. And so we have about 16 or 17 native azaleas to this country, and they have them, and it's really cool.
Mhm.
So if you go to Asheville, you got to go there, but it's all connected, and that's the
Mhm.
beauty. And I think that's one of the beauties of going on the Gray Line is you get this history, of Montford. They go through the area, and you get to go to the hospital where Zelda Fitzgerald died, and there's all kinds of cool stories. The downtown, but you see how connected and interwoven Asheville is as a city, but it's also connected to the mountains and the Appalachian culture, the indigenous people. It is really cool. So you've got to do the Gray Line trolley. I'm serious. Like if you go to Asheville and
It's
do not
fun.
do it, I'm going to come after you because I do know how to chase people down, and I've been
while we're
chased.
talking about Montford Park players, I would like to say something about Hazel Robinson because she really was instrumental in their founding. And if there was ever a citizen of Asheville who gave back and left a lasting gift to Asheville, it's Hazel Robinson with the Montford Park players, because they are truly a gem. And I've never seen a bad play there. I'll just tell you that.
Awesome.
Well, thank you very
Awesome.
much.
See?
Yeah, Hazel
Awesome.
I
was.
read that just like you wrote it.
There we
Oh,
go.
see?
I appreciate that.
Now listen. I just want to say that they should have a Hazel Robinson cocktail. I know there's Robinson Crusoe, but like I would
I
like
like
Hazel
it.
Robinson cocktail, which means we've got to bring Elaine Hale on the show. She is from the Little Jumbo Bar. And I don't know if she has pink elephants,
Ooh.
but I do want a pink elephant cocktail too. So go to littlejumbobar.com, and this is a neighborhood cocktail bar. I love this. There's nothing like it. And apparently they have music there too on certain days. So welcome to the show, Elaine. How are you?
Hi. I'm just enjoying this rainy weather. Kind of cozy in here.
Oh, so what cocktail goes like? Okay, so can we have a Hazel Robinson? Can we have I want a Dumbo cocktail because little Dumbo. Like
That's cute. Good idea. I'll write that down right now.
I know she is, right? She's like, okay, I'm just gonna get.
Gotta have some. It's got to have some big flaps for the ears.
Oh,
yeah, we could do some like a grapefruit twist, but make it really large. I think that'd be cute.
Oh, Nancy,
Yeah.
oh, that's cool.
That's a big
Oh,
twist.
that is cool. What do you have a signature cocktail? I mean, because when we think about cocktails, are you also doing mocktails? Because I know that that's a big deal now. I mean,
so non-alcoholic cocktails have come so far. In this, especially in Asheville, I feel like we also have a couple of non-alcoholic bars coming up. But in our menu, the non-alcoholic cocktails are on a similar page, so it doesn't feel like you're ordering something different or something wild.
Oh, that's cool. Like, yeah, you're the non-drinker. Like you're all
Exactly.
inclusive.
It's not
Yeah.
weird. And now there's so many different spirits that are just non-alcoholic that you can make an incredible drink. And not just
Oh.
have to be like juice and soda, as so many people were just a couple of years ago. It's come really far. It's really fun.
So that's interesting. So there's spirits. So you have that kind of fermentation vibe and feel and flavor. So like you
little
could do, yeah, I mean, because that's kind of interesting because you think of, oh, you're just mixing juices and putting pretty garnish and you're going to pay a pretty penny for garnish. And that's not true, right? There's an
Yeah.
art. I think there's an art to mixology. There's an absolute art, like a chef,
sure.
you know, I'm a big believer in a well-established cocktail.
This comes from taking chemistry in high school.
Steve, stop laughing. Listen, you know, hey, I can't make all those cocktails, but like watching people make them, I'm like, you're like squeezing that juice out of the lemon, and then you're mushing it and you're doing things and you're adding spices and stuff that I would never think of doing. And I'm not doing it. You are. Like, I'm coming to you because I want to be able to see how to do it. You know what I mean? It's there's an art.
Fun.
Yeah. Tell us about some of the cocktails that you serve.
So our menu changes seasonally. We do have a couple of forever cocktails that are just constants, including I would say that our signature is our old fashioned, which is the best old fashioned that you'll have. Incredible. It's classic.
I agree.
It's definitely in the like 1870s style, which is really great.
Wow.
In that it's not smashed. There's no like orange and grapefruit or orange and cherry in the bottom. It's just very simple and it's extremely delicious. But other than that, we do a seasonal menu. So right now we have our spring menu still up. And all of our cocktails are very classic driven. We're not going to do any like fat washing or anything that requires a blowtorch. It's also
wait, what's a fat washing? It sounds like I need that for my butt. Like, what is this fat washing stuff? I'm sorry, but like,
I just want to play that song, Stand Back.
I know. I'm like fat washing and I'm talking about elephants. Like, what's going on here? Wait, what is a fat washing? I've never heard this. Sorry.
Oh, good. But you're basically adding fat and that mouthfeel into spirits. So you'll see a fat washed.
Oh, like hot buttered rum kind of thing?
Kind of. What happens is that you blend an oil, or you do see it a lot with coconut oil or olive oil. Okay. You blend an oil with a spirit and then you freeze it off, and then the fat that solidifies on the top you throw away. But the remaining fats that are in the spirit give it like a really interesting mouthfeel.
My grandmother used to always use hot buttered rum whenever we got sick. So my brother and I were always sick.
And that explains me, the daughter. So you do or you don't do fat washing?
We do not. We do just really simple, straightforward, but excellent cocktails. But
which means you're more vegan than for vegans, right? When you start playing with fats, it can get weird. Yeah. Yeah. And well, it is, you know, it's interesting because like, you know, we have wineries on our show and they're like, we're vegan wineries. And you go like, why you're coming from grapes? Wouldn't that be vegan? But we found out, no, in the process of winemaking, a lot of times other things get in there that are not vegan. So, you know, it's in the like soil and the finishing. Yeah, that's an odd thing off the wall, but like shell, like seashells and stuff like that, and fish bones and all of that. So it's interesting because everybody has something different. And I know, Erin, you've got to deal with that with the food of, you know, being vegan and doing fish and be able to balance that out. It's not easy. And to be, no, it's hard to be able to, you know, and I know you guys with the B&B, the Line and the Rose, it's like, we've got to deal with allergy. Everybody's got some kind of different thing that to be catered to, you know? And so it's true. I always just appreciate people doing that. But okay, so there's an old fashioned, I think, Elena, that goes with the neighborhood in a way. Like you should have an
Yeah.
old fashioned. Would you say that would be like the neighborhood drink?
I would say so. We also have a couple of cocktails that are we like really specifically named after Montford. We have one called Death in Lower Montford, which is a play on Death in Lower Manhattan.
Nice.
Very cute. And we love being our little neighborhood. People walk there a lot. It's
It's dog friendly too. I see people walking dogs in Asheville every time we go there. I'm like, people leave bowls of
cool.
water out for dogs and stuff. I'm like, what? That's so cool that people are that friendly, So I think I like that name of the cocktail because it kind of goes with the cemetery too. And so like you could go have dinner. I mean, can this work out timing wise? If you're a guest, you go check in at Steve and Karen's. I would say the first day you are there, go on a trolley tour with Gray Line. So you get the idea of where you are. Like Uncle Ted always says, like there's the vortex, you're in the vortex. You're sitting on the crystal, is it the amethyst or crystal mountain that you're on? Like which one?
It's the crystal vortex. It's almost, if you look at a geological map, it's almost in the shape of a perfect cross, and it's over 93% pure. And it's under a lot of pressure. So it gives off a lot of electromagnetic waves that we think tend to attract a lot of paranormal activity.
So we're all vibrating in Asheville. We've got extra vibrations.
Yes.
Well, but I have to say it is the most it's a very diverse collective of people. Like really, Asheville. I mean, it's a little bit of everything, but it's kind of, I know like a lot of people compare it to Austin, but I would just say that it brings out the independent spirit. Asheville has independent spirit. And I think that's a big deal for also those of us who are tired of going to corporate America establishments. We're kind of, or not even just corporate America, just let's say corporate, because half of the corporate America establishments aren't American anymore either. It's like you want to go to, no, I mean, it's a true thing. You want to go to a place, you want to go to individual restaurants, you want to go to Aaron's and talk to someone behind the counter, like, why, Aaron, why do you decide to do Caribbean food? Why? What was the impetus for that? Your inspiration? Like, I want to know, because like I want to go eat there. I want green curry. I want some green curry bad.
My inspiration was I don't know, like in 10th grade I bought a Bob Marley cassette tape.
Oh dude.
The live one. And I just fell in love with reggae. I fell in love with Bob, and then
Natural
in college
Mystic.
in '96. I went to Jamaica, had jerk chicken for the first time. It was the best.
He got happy.
And I just started experimenting with Caribbean flavors and just, I don't know, it's my passion. And now like my passion is just more like just good food, fresh, healthy, fun atmosphere, reggae music playing, everybody having a good time. Like that's my passion.
See, but that's what's interesting. Now, do you serve Red Stripe or no? Or is that like, I haven't had one.
It's not on
years.
tap, but it's in a, we have Red Stripe.
But that, I think that's it. It's like you find your inspiration, right? And so you wouldn't think, oh, we're going to find Caribbean food in Asheville, but that's the point. It's like you can be who you are in Asheville. Elena, for you, what was it that I'm going to open up? Hey, I'm going to start doing cocktails. Like, what was that? Like, where did you go for that inspiration? We already know what Aaron did in Jamaica.
Yeah.
Asheville's a happy place. I'm just saying.
It is.
I think it'd be fun to go into a bar that had like a whole bunch of drinks named after rock and roll stars and actors and actresses. And then you could just order like a Gloria Swanson or Gabe Kaplan or, just some different stars.
Yeah, I think that's one. We have one called Don Lockwood. That's kind of close. It's the guy in and Singing in the Rain.
Cool.
Oh wow. Well, okay. So
does it have a little umbrella?
No, that would be cute. No, it's
Well,
Okay.
how far are you from the inn? Like,
I would say probably
Not-
15-minute walk.
that's
Yeah,
not
it's an
bad.
easy
That's
walk.
Not
good.
too bad.
Well, we all need to walk off the drinks and the food, and that's what cemeteries are good for. And
Mhm.
then you feel uninhibited to talk to people that are lying
And
restfully
walking
and
through
saying, "I'm
Montford
gonna."
too is beautiful.
It
It's
is.
Yeah.
Oh my
so
God, you
friendly.
got the trees, you got squirrels, you got birds, you got people with dogs, you got interesting people, you can people watch. The
Mhm.
architecture to me is incredible. But
Yeah.
now I want to know, does Dennis from Chalwa ever come into your restaurant, Aaron? The band Chalwa? Come on,
Uh,
because you guys have
He
your
has.
own
I mean, just
reggae
to eat.
mountain
He hasn't.
band.
Yeah, he hasn't. He hasn't played there, but he definitely has eaten there for sure. Yeah.
Do you have music at your
You know,
restaurant?
we used to have music way back in the day, but we just started getting too busy, and there wasn't space.
Mhm.
You know,
Okay.
we bought the other building beside Nine Montford, the other little triplex. We bought the second
Yeah.
part of it, and we just made it into a waiting room because people were standing outside in the rain and the cold, and
Damn.
we didn't make any more seats. We just made a waiting room, and we had an extra
Wow.
room for a brewery, so we put a brewery in there.
Oh,
But yeah,
wow.
so
What
it's
the
not enough
hell?
room for music. It's just
What
people
we
waiting
need to
for food. So
Oh, I mean, we need, what the heck? Why haven't we been there yet? This is stupid. Like, okay, so Elena, you have music though, right?
Yeah, I do. Mondays,
Mhm.
Tuesdays, and an occasional Sunday. And it's all, jazz or jazz adjacent. So
Mhm.
It goes with the Manhattan, right?
Yeah,
The Montford,
exactly.
the Montford Manhattan. I like that. I'm or the old fashioned, excuse me. And what's the dead one? We're gonna die.
Oh, Death in Lower Montford is the one.
like-
It's not on the menu right now, but you can ask for anything that you've ever seen and we can make it for you.
I want it.
Sounds like a good play.
Yeah, I know. Oh, John, come on.
Hey,
We could play.
See, this is the thing. So you check in at the inn, you have a beer when you check in. Then you go have a cocktail, you go have dinner, go to the play, right? But I'm gonna say
Yeah.
go to the trolley tour first. I always say that. Just you people get the
Get your
grasp of the
bearings.
area.
And we appreciate that.
Mhm.
No,
Yeah,
we really
Get your bearings.
no, but you know what? I read so much the very first night we got to Asheville, which was unexpected that we were even gonna end up like in South Africa. We used to say we rocked up on someone's doorstep. We just rocked
Yeah.
up. That was the
Yep.
saying. Well, we did that to Steve and Karen, and they were very gracious, gave us a beer. I think we swindled Steve into a second beer, but don't try it. The dogs will come after you. Karen will give you a brownie or something. But no, I mean the next
She got
morning you
the
have breakfast.
eyebrow. She got
We
the
got the eye-
eyebrow.
Now don't yeah, but no, really, and Steve's beer is good. But when we ran their inn, like it was an experiment, right? It was fun.
That
But
was
like,
fun.
and then I started giving
Really
people
was.
mimosas every day. I wanted to make sure everyone was happy. Like, I didn't know about Uncle Ted yet. I didn't know, like, hey, go to 9 Mile down the road and everything. I wish I knew, because then everybody would have been really happy. They were happy. Everyone is happy. It's a happy inn, so you can't. And over Halloween,
Mhm.
Karen puts the Bates Motel sign out the window just for everybody going by in the
Love
Gray
that.
Line bus tour.
I love that.
We love that. We love it.
I think it's awesome.
It is so cool. But real quick, Uncle Ted, I want to go back to some of the history. I mentioned Zelda Fitzgerald, and we've ended up doing so many shows on F. Scott Fitzgerald. It's kind of weird how, I don't know, like the first night we got there, Steve and Karen have these historic like books about the history of Asheville. And I ended up, I didn't believe it. It's crazy because we spent so much time that night, kept them up all night. And then we went to bed and ate our crackers, our road trip crackers. And I think we had wine upstairs. Shh, don't tell anybody. But
Don't
we
tell
did.
anybody.
And they had these books, and I read the book cover to cover, and their inn has some crazy history. Their inn itself is something to talk about on history that ties into the area. But I couldn't believe, I was like, we have to leave tomorrow and go to Savannah. I don't want to go to Savannah. And I mean, Savannah's nice. I just was like, we're in this amazing place. Are you kidding me? so much history right here where we were. I was like, and I'm so glad we keep coming back. The vortex, Uncle Ted. It's the vortex.
Yeah,
Yeah,
it's drawing you
it's
back.
pulling you back.
But tell everybody, can you give everyone a little, let's start with Karen and Steve. Karen, you want to tell them just a little history of the inn, of who owned it? Because we still need to do a genealogy thing on the inn, of the people of the inn.
Oh, yeah.
Ooh.
So we were always told it was 1898. Looking at our scrapbook, it looks like it may have been sooner. It may have been 1895 or 1896.
Ooh.
And we're still learning things, which is interesting. We had about a month ago, we had a young couple stay with us, and her great grandparents, I think, or great grandparents, had lived here in this house in the 40s. And she said that her dad would tell her stories about how he stayed up in the top room, and her great grandparents owned the general store, and there was some relationship. I can't remember exactly what it was. I'll have to find out for sure, but they were related to the Wright brothers.
Oh,
Cool.
dude.
So this is something new we just found out. It's always interesting to hear from people who have some kind of connection to this house.
We should do
Yeah.
like a tree of life of the house, like the people.
Oh, that'd be cool.
Because I think people
That would
also
be.
travel to places for their genealogy. I mean, I know they do. I mean, we've
Yeah.
covered so much of it over the years that you want to step in your ancestors' footsteps. And sometimes people end up in a town not even knowing that their ancestors were there. So I always believe that we have this weird DNA magnet in us, like whales know to migrate and birds know that human beings have that weird little gene in us that we go places and we don't even, and it's happened to Nancy and I in our travels. We keep circling back to a place, and we're going to find out one day that we have Asheville blood somewhere.
Well,
Yeah.
I mean,
like yeah, when we
That would
went
be
to
wonderful.
Pennsylvania, and went and visited this one gravesite, and then I found my great grandparents' ancestors there. So, and you never
Wow.
know. I didn't know that. I
Yeah.
didn't know it, but so that's why I always recommend people go and visit graveyards. Go check it out. Go read the tombstones. You
yeah.
never know what you're gonna
Oh
find.
my God, you guys, this is one of the coolest graveyards. And you know what? There's always
Mhm.
ravens and snakes. I didn't see any snakes in your graveyard, but there's always ravens. Like, what the hell is that, Uncle Ted? Why
Nice.
is Edgar Allan Poe buried in every graveyard across the country? What's going on?
No, but ravens are attracted to writers, and there's a number of them up there. So
It's
Oh,
weird, isn't it? Isn't
Mm.
it weird? It is like a weird thing that's there. I wanted to go over to John and touch on the plays for this year. Can you tell everybody a little overview of what's coming up?
Certainly, be happy to. So our theme this year is Adventures on the High Seas. And this includes 3 world premieres, all written locally, and 2 of Shakespeare's best sea stories. Now, I realize we're a long way from the ocean, being way up in the mountains here, but we hope our visitors will entertain a willing suspension of disbelief, as we say in the world of theater. So we're opening May 19th. With Wendy and Peter, which is a Peter Pan story taken directly from the novel. And that will be followed by Shakespeare's pirate comedy Twelfth Night.
Ooh,
And then Treasure Island, again, another world premiere taken from the novel. The Tempest, about the shipwreck on a deserted island, which most scholars think is actually Bermuda, based on the history at the time. And then our final show for the season, most outdoor theaters have started doing Halloween shows to add on to their normal outdoor season. So we started doing that, and so this one's a little different. It's a takeoff on Alice in Wonderland. It's called Alice's Adventures in Murderland.
oh, I love
like
that.
a zombie
Oh
comedy.
my
That one
God.
was intriguing.
Are you kidding me? I'm coming back to
Oh my
Asheville just for
gosh.
that. Are you
fantastic.
kidding me? Oh my
Oh.
God, one pill makes you larger.
There
But
you go. Oh yes, one rabbit.
I want to go
my
to Aaron.
gosh.
Aaron, see, this ties in with your food, right? Come on, come on.
Yeah.
I mean, don't you think what's going on with it? This is it. And then Elena, come on, cocktails
Oh
for the
yeah.
sea. there's getting like a
I-
rum thing. I'm
There's
feeling
a
rum,
tour.
a rum kind of vibe that will go to Jamaica with like seriously, I'm feeling Nancy's getting happy.
What was that?
She'll
What
do
was that
anything for
show where
rum.
the kid kept going red rum, red rum, red rum?
Oh, that's The Shining.
Yeah,
Shining.
yeah.
Yep.
That's The Shining.
Somebody should have a red
Mhm.
rum drink for Halloween.
Oh,
Definitely do that.
Ooh.
You do that.
Elena has a whole new menu, but she's like, really, people, like we know what we're doing. We don't need suggestions.
Yeah.
Well, you can name anything. You just name
Okay,
whatever.
wait. So, okay, can you do like Steve? You brew beer. Can we do like
Yeah.
a red beer? You good? There's red beers.
Yeah, we
Some of
should
those
do a red
Yeah,
ale,
good beer.
maybe.
the red
Yeah.
rum for Halloween. Like I know you do the
Yeah,
Dirty
we might
Godiva
need
for
to.
us, but like
Maybe
the
a
chocolate stuff.
rum barrel red ale.
Oh,
There you go.
Yeah.
There we
That sounds
go.
good.
Mm.
and then we'd have to go
Sounds
for a
good.
red rum curry over at Aaron's at 9 Mile, right?
Yep.
My
Yeah.
Hey,
Yeah. There you go.
Aaron, what's the 9 Mile about? What's the name from?
Well, 9 Mile is the little town that Bob Marley was born in Jamaica, up in the hills.
Oh,
Mhm.
Hey,
Oh.
Yep.
there should be a
Are you-
new
are you
drink
t-
per mile.
should we have been doing this show on like 420, like April 20th? Like really, we should have
Just
done
missed
this.
it.
Yeah, like but we did a good show for 420, and then the next day they had International Hemp Awareness Day. I'm like, why would you do it the next day? Oh, everybody got happy the first day, and the next day went, oh, now
Yeah,
we
they're
realize
walking
that
Asheville
around.
has a festival for that. We
Do
have
they?
a hemp festival. Yes.
What?
Oh,
Oh, I
yes, it
wouldn't
was
be
right
surprised.
downtown. Everybody came for that.
Really?
How
They were
about
Did
walking
you put
around
everybody
smelling.
on the trolley after that? Like what?
that? Ooh.
But we had to be careful going through there, driving.
No. What? Everyone's like
But it was
happy.
right downtown on City County
Man.
Plaza Square, and it was a
Ding,
wonderful
ding.
festival. So
Yeah.
we,
Ding, ding, ding went the trolley.
So wait, what about can't you have a hops and hemp festival since you guys are beer? Like hops and
oh, we
hemp?
do that too. We do that too.
Oh.
Listen, we have a festival for everything you can think of.
Mm.
No wonder we keep coming back through. Like everyone's happy in Asheville. It is like the happy
Well-
city. It's the water. You guys have good water from those crystals. See?
Oh yes.
True.
Yeah.
I love it. I
Well,
love
ladies,
it.
I hate to interrupt
I-
you, but I do have to get rolling because I
And
have
we're going to get
another.
rolling too. So listen, thanks for
Thank you,
joining us.
tribe. So-
Everyone get off the trolley. Ding, ding, ding. Thanks, Uncle Ted. Everyone, graylineasheville.com is the website to go to. Aaron, it's 9mileasheville.com for the restaurant, right?
That's correct. Yes. Thank you.
And everyone go see Elena and, mess with her about cocktails.
We'd love
Have to
it.
have that old fashioned.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's the Little Jumbo Bar, and you can go to littlejumbobar.com. They're also on Facebook. And then thank you, John, Executive Director again from Montford Park Players. Go to montfordparkplayers.org. Thank you, John. Thank you, Elena and Aaron,
Thank
for
you.
joining us.
Yep. Thank you all.
Yeah, thanks for having us.
And we
It was
also want to
fun.
thank Steve and Karen. You always put an amazing group of people together on these shows, and that's what you do
Good
at your
job.
inn. You never have a dull
Mm.
day at the Lion and the Rose Bed and Breakfast. It all starts with a beer,
That's true.
ends up with breakfast, doggies, beautiful gardens, and take a walk through the Montford Historic District. So check it out. Go to lion-rose.com. We are here every first Tuesday talking about adventures in Asheville, and my, there's plenty of adventures to be had. So stay
No
tuned. Keep up
kidding.
with us at bigblendradio.com. Thank you all for joining us.
Thanks, guys.
Thank
Thank
you.
you.
All right,
you.
thanks for having us.